A very good morning and thank you so much for staying with us on Sunrise at Sea this morning. Welcome to our views. My name is Agi Owase and today we are talking about materialism. I don't know if you have heard of it. It's one of the most contested things on the planet at the moment, where people talk about materialism is never a good thing. Others are saying, you know what, I'd rather cry rather in a Lamborghini than I would, on a bicycle. So yes, materialism is something that people are always talking about prized possessions. I don't know if you know what prized possessions are. It can be a car. It can even be a human being. A human being can be a prized possession. It can be something of value that, a friend, that a family can give you as a gift, and that you hold in so much regard, that you protect so much more than you would actually protect your neighbor. So that is what we are talking about today. All you have to do is connect with us on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at CTV Uganda. We actually did post it. Let us know. Do you think materialism is a good or a bad thing? And if you were to choose, would you be materialistic or would you not? Well, just to give you the definition of materialism now, this is a tendency to consider material possessions and physical comfort as more important than spiritual values. That's like, thinking that going out maybe on a vacation is much more important than going to church, if you are to put it that way. And the other thing is, materialism is a concept that refers to a state where the top priority for people is to increase their consumption levels, since a big fraction of their happiness depends on those material things. Just to re-echo, it can be a house, it can be a car, it can be a lot of money, it can actually be a job. It's also when you're very attached to a certain job, depending on how much money you bring in, depending on how valuable it is to you, that is actually also referred to being materialistic. Now, there's also a term that has been going around, especially for the ladies, and it's called being a material girl. There's people who have branded themselves, some ladies have branded themselves as material girls, and they always say that if you don't have materials, please don't come to me. If you say I'm materialistic, if you say I'm a material girl, so if you have no materials as a man, why are you approaching me? Why are you wasting my time? And yes, some ladies have posted that on social media and got mixed reactions. Men saying if you're materialistic, then you're a prostitute, then you're all those bad words about material girls. And some have said, you know what, it's okay, I can be a material girl, I can love what I love, it's okay to love material things, and it's okay to love a good life. So ladies, my first question today is, do you consider yourself a material girl?
Do I consider myself a material girl? I like nice things. I like nice things, but I'm not driven by these nice things. Like you cannot control me because I want to get something. Do you understand? And also, I'm not that very much, religious kind of girl, but the Bible does have very, very interesting things to say about material things. For instance, in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21, give me a moment here to preach. It says, "Do not lay upon for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." So it is basically, the Bible is saying you should treasure more intangible things, like your friendships, love. You have to have integrity and all these other things, as opposed to attaching your worth to material things, because these material things can be taken, they can be destroyed, and you're not going to go to the afterlife with them. Yes. And also another very interesting verse is from Hebrews, that is chapter 13 verses 5, that says, "Keep your life free from the love of money and be content with what you have, for he who said, I will never leave you nor forsake you." Keep yourself free from the love of money. Yes, money is important. It's like up there with oxygen. Everything that we do in life has an exchange. Do you understand? Our careers have an exchange. You have to use money to take care of your family. But at the end of the day, there are more important things than that money. Would you put your reputation, your dignity, your integrity on the line for money? Do you understand? It's all about instant gratification. You will, sell your soul for money, but it's going to come back and bite you. Okay. You understand? And is that is that a bargain you really want to take? That's a question that we should all ask ourselves. We like nice things. I like nice things. I like to look good. I like my hair done, my makeup, I like to go out, and I would like to be able to afford all the finer things in life. But I am not controlled by materialistic things. We have seen girls do the worst kind of things for money. You have heard the stories about the girls who go to Dubai, the porta party, for materialistic things, for a handbag that is going to be out of season in the next month. Do you understand?
Okay.
So, as in, for an iPhone, and that is going to be out of season in the next month. So
then you get another one that it's in.
So you're going to keep on because you see, if you're not working honestly for the things that you want in your life, and you're letting you're degrading yourself to get them from somebody else because they're giving you this money, you're going to keep on giving more and more and more and more of yourself. Are you willing to sell yourself to the devil to be a material girl?
Okay.
Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? We shall stay with our technos and be fine.
Are you a material girl?
No, let me tell you something, yeah? I think people are pretentious when they say they don't like materials. That's a big lie. Everyone loves convenience. Everyone loves having money. Everyone loves having a beautiful car. Everyone loves having a nice phone. Everyone loves being able to, not worry about basic things of life. You're not worried about what you're going to eat. You're not worried about clothing. You're not worried about, shelter. You're not worried about all these basic things that you need to survive in your daily life. So for me, I think I would have to say that maybe I could be materialistic because at the end of it all is that I come here to work because I should be able to give myself those things and make my life more convenient. So would I consider myself a materialistic kind of person? Yes, maybe, but I have to work hard for what I need. You understand? Because I feel like when you're in a position where you kind of derive some sort of joy from maybe owning a car or having a nice phone, then you're going to work 10 times harder at it. You go to work, give it your all, give it your 100%, and be able to afford the things that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be getting the money from someone else or getting the materials from someone else. But then also, of course, what Sarah said is very, very right. Because many girls right now are, looking at that quick money. How can they get out of the situations they're in without necessarily working hard for it? But does it give you joy and happiness and all those things? I believe so 100%.
That's the end goal, right?
I believe so 100%, because at the end of the day, minimalism is not going to have you happy when you're wondering what the hell am I going to have for lunch. Minimalism is not going to have you happy when you're wondering, rent is coming up, what am I going to do? Yes, you're protecting your values, you're protecting your beliefs, but at the end of the day, you're suffering. You just don't want to admit it, but minimalism is like the blueprint of suffering. You're suffering, but you're just, choosing to say.
I saw a statement.
Let me not have people say that. Oh my God, she likes material, things. She likes material.
You're hiding your true self.
Yes, you're hiding your true self. But I feel like everyone in this world, if they had access to all the materials they need, they would have them.
I saw a statement on Twitter where someone said, "Don't pretend to be a minimalist. You are just broke." Yeah. Everyone is laughing. It's like, given an opportunity that you have all the money, would you still be a minimalist?
You wouldn't.
Listen, this is the thing. There's a difference between being a minimalist and being a materialistic person. Materialistic people are the ones who find self-worth in physical, tangible things. I have an iPhone, then I am a somebody. You attach your value to that iPhone you're having. You attach your value to that Louis Vuitton bag that you're carrying. You attach your value to that car or the type of car that you drive. That is what being materialistic is. Like, I want the finer things in life. It doesn't matter if I am able to personally afford them myself or somebody else is giving them to me. You go extreme lengths to have that physical thing because you want people to see you. And that is where the problem
you derive your satisfaction as an individual. Doesn't
because
I am
not,
because
I've gone to work, I've worked so
it
hard.
Is about if you're materialistic, you attach value to material things.
But it's not about other people, Sarah.
It's also about other people because listen, if you did not care, first of all, I think people need to ask themselves these things. For what reason are you buying that item, that expensive phone, that expensive handbag, drinking that expensive wine that you even hate the taste? Why are you buying it? Why are you indulging in that? If it doesn't bring you any value, if it is not for the fact that you want to show off, to be seen as a big boy, I am a stunner, money maker, I make it rain. People who go and throw money around, you want to be seen because you want people to put value in you because you have nothing else to offer but just that.
Okay.
Those are people who are materialistic, and that is what materialism is. It is okay to like nice things. There are people who there are people that we know who are billionaires. Have the most beautiful houses, are thriving in their lives, but nobody knows because they have these things
because
it's not a want for them, it is a need for me. Do you
I
understand?
think I really differ with you. Like, honestly, when it comes to materialism, I don't think everyone, wants to have the posh car, wants to have the good house for people, to approve of them or to see them. There is those, but then there's other people who derive their satisfaction from comfort, from the finest things in life, from convenience. You find if you have a very beautiful Mercedes Benz, that's what makes you happy. It doesn't have to be about someone else. It is materialism because you want those expensive things, but you want them for you. It doesn't matter whether someone else sees you. I know a couple of people who you find driving these Range Rovers, but you'll never know. They'll never be holding their keys for everyone to see them until probably they're giving you a lift home and you're like, oh wow, he actually drives a Range Rover, and you cannot believe it. That is a materialistic person, but he's not a show off. He's not doing it for people. He's doing it for him.
Again, it takes me back to why are you having these things? People who are materialistic attach value to those things. People who are not, there are people who have been raised in wealth. I am going to drive, say, the most expensive SUV or Range Rover because I can afford it, not because I want to be seen, because it's a lifestyle I have been used to. Give example, people in the royal family. They have been in money. Their generation before them have all had that lifestyle. It's something that they afford. They are down to earth. It's not that they're doing it because they are what? They are touching any value, any their worth to that money. It's because they have it. I have it. You understand? But then there are those people. First, hold on. First, let me finish my point. And Wikipedia goes on to define materialism is, and I'm reading it from the internet right now. It says, materialism is a form of philosophical monism which holds matter to the fundamental substance in nature and all things, including mental status. Okay, you want people to see me. I have the latest iPhone. I have it. It doesn't matter where I got it. But why do you have it?
Because,
for instance,
okay, I'll give you an example.
My point is, okay. For instance, there are content creators who have the latest iPhone because one, it helps them with their work. It's a necessity. It's a need. There are some people who are materialistic will purchase it because it is a want. I want to be seen. I want to clout chase. I want to be within the trend, and that is where the difference is. So my question is, all right, you gave that an example. I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than suffer on a border.
But not because it's about people, but because it's about you.
People.
No,
it's
not,
about
Sarah.
people.
Not.
Why are you crying in that Lamborghini if you can afford it?
Because it's
with
comfortable.
With your hard-earned money.
No.
No, you're not comfortable if you're crying in it. If you're crying in it, you're not comfortable.
You're bound to cry at some point in
life.
You're
not comfortable if you're crying in the Lamborghini. You would not be crying if that is from your money and you work your job and you buy the Lamborghini because you can.
So
but if you're crying in it because the sugar daddy wants you to do some stuff.
They've grown up with wealth, they have all the money.
It's their lifestyle.
Lived through,
it's not that they're materialistic.
So I come from an impoverished family. Let's give an example. I'm coming from an impoverished family. I'm trying to, make things better for myself. I'm putting in the hard work because maybe, let's say, I never saw how would I put it? Maybe let's say your parents never had money, or you never saw beautiful things like cars, or you never saw good phones and stuff like that. But here you are in a better space, in a better environment that gives you an opportunity to afford those things that you've always wanted. Not because you're going to show other people, but because of convenience. You didn't grow up with those things. You did not have them readily available to you. So I disagree when you say people who have range, who buy nice things, and they're not doing it for other people. It's because they've grown up in wealth, or they've grown up around money.
Again, the definition of materialism is, and this is where you're getting me wrong, is the theory that physical matter is the only fundamental reality that all being and possesses and phenomenal matter. It's for me, it's the only thing that matters. That is, you are attaching your value to that thing that you have, and I'm saying that is wrong. For a lot of people who are materialistic have had to literally sell their souls to even get their things that they're getting. I'm not disputing that there are people who have worked hard to afford the luxury that they have in their life, and you deserve it.
But that still makes them materialistic,
no,
because they work so hard
and they
to afford
to
that
possess all those
beautiful
materials.
life.
I'm saying, again, materialistic is attaching your value to that
It's not
thing,
even
which
attaching
is
value,
wrong.
it's attaching importance to things
But
like
that is
money.
the definition of materialism.
And yes, I'm still
materialism.
seeing a definition here that says materialism is an attitude of someone who attaches a lot of importance to money and wants to
Thank
possess
you.
it.
Because
Yes.
that's what matters to them the most.
Yes, that's you're attaching importance to money, but why do you need that money?
Okay, but
Why do you need that money? Why are you attaching that much importance? Why wouldn't I need money? In case I need insurance, in case I need anything here and there, in case I need a good car, convenience, why wouldn't I need money? Don't we all attach importance to money?
See, people who
Well,
are
money
not
rules the world.
First, hold on. People who are not materialistic, whether they have the money or not, are not going to attach that money to their value. That's why you're going to find people who are the richest in this world. Mark Zuckerberg he wears the same gray T-shirt.
But
every
where
day.
does he live?
You understand?
What house does he-
I'm
what-
saying,
how expensive is the house?
can
where
I
he
finish,
lives?
Aggie? Can
Why
I
didn't
finish,
he stay in
Aggie?
2 rooms?
He is rich, but he's not attaching his wealth to his value, and that is where the difference is.
What do you mean
people
he's not
who are
attaching his wealth to value?
First way, people who his own individual value as a person. There are people who have the money, but they feel like without that money they are a nobody. Do you get my point? People who say that I have to have the money for people to see me, for people to respect me, for people to get my money, and they throw the money in people's faces. Those are people who are materialistic. But people who are not materialistic, whether they are rich or not, don't attach those materialistic things to themselves, because there are more important things in life to them, like love, integrity, family, kindness. Do you get me?
Yes, I do.
Down to
but
earth.
here's the
We
thing.
call them down to
As
earth.
we continue, as we proceed, I'd like to disagree on that, and I've always disagreed with everyone who talks about, Mark Zuckerberg always wearing, the plain tees. At the end of the day, materialistic people also have the things they love. Mark does not move in a primo because he does not wear, the very,
because he wears only a grey shirt.
You're not even sure if it's not a Gucci shirt. It might be a Gucci shirt that is, a plain tee, because that is what he wants as an individual. The house he lives in is about billions of dollars. Yes,
If he was
the cars he drives.
Again,
and you tell
you
me
don't
that is
get
not
my
a materialistic
Aggie,
person?
if it wasn't
don't
about
get my
about
point.
his net worth, yes, if it wasn't about money, why did he sit down and come up with Facebook? After coming up with Facebook, why did Mark Zuckerberg go on and buy Instagram and buy WhatsApp and buy Twitter if it wasn't about the money? And so that when you Google Mark Zuckerberg, it comes up with how much
Why
money,
isn't he
a
driving
net
a
worth
Primo?
of
Anyway,
millions and millions of dollars?
I'm
for the
defeated
next
because
question.
again you keep reading the definition of materialism and you still don't get it.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
comprehending
You
it
are
everything.
attaching, you are attaching
No,
it to
no,
your
no.
value. Let's give another example of people
Here's
like
the thing.
Oprah Winfrey.
Here's the thing. Let me just read for
She
you
is
something.
down to
Yes.
earth and very humane, and she's always doing charity. She's never
She's
flashed.
not
She's not.
materialistic?
Again, materialism is when you are touched. I need people who are like, when you see me with money, that is who I am, the person I like.
So what are the benefits of materialism?
Listen, can I please finish my point? My point is that materialistic people are people who feel that they are somebody because they have money. It is not whether they have it or
Oprah
not.
feels that way.
No, she doesn't. She's humble. She's always giving to charity. She's always hip. And also, let us not also here project our poverty on other people who have money. Do you understand?
Sarah.
People who have humility, even when they have money, are not materialistic people. That's my example. People who come and flash money around and want to, you know, talk down on you because they have more money than you. Those are people who are materialistic. Again, materialistic is people who attach their value. Me as a person, I have nothing else to offer, but I have money. That is a materialistic person. And that is what the definition is. We have been saying it all over again, and you're still not understanding. The basic definition to it.
I think doing charity does not necessarily mean that you're not a materialistic person. We've seen Kim Kardashian. She's very materialistic, but she has donated $1 million before.
And she's not my example. She's not my example.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's
doing
what I'm
charity,
saying.
because you gave that example of
Oprah
Oprah doing, you know, charity. That means
again, people who attach their worth to the physical things that they have.
Okay.
What do you attach your worth to?
Let's move on.
What do you attach your worth to? Do you attach your worth to money? So you're only going to show up when you have money? Is that what you attach your worth to?
A journal by, you know, Medical News Today talked about materialistic people are more likely to be depressed and unsatisfied. And they further went on to say that we have all met materialistic people before. These individuals want the best of the best. Underline that. You want the finest car, you want the finest house, you want the finest phone, whatever is the most beautiful thing in the world, you want it. And you want it because of you. That is what you want. Now, whether it's the latest phone or a top of, you know, the range car, but even when their demands are met, these types of characters may not entirely be happy because of the urge to always have more, of the urge to always acquire more. Because I mean, there will always be the latest car, there'll always be, you know, the latest iPhones. I think that what Sarah mentioned. But here, I'd love to know, what do you think prompts people to be materialistic at the end of the day?
Lack of self-worth. Lack of self-worth.
How is that?
People who are insecure about themselves, and you try to rub your materialism or the things that you have in people's faces. That is what causes people to be materialistic. Because one, you may have been that person who was always bullied or always told that you're ugly or told that you're not good enough. So you go on to start to acquire these things so that you can make friends. There are a lot of people who have a lot of friends in their lives, but not because they are a good person, but it's because of the things that they have. And you go on to dangle these things in people's faces because you want to bait them. We have a number of tycoons that have come on the scene and are flashing money and throwing money around. Those are all signs of materialism. And those are people who are attracting people to, you know, be their friends because they want to bait them with money, and they attach their self-worth to that money. So number one is that lack of, you know, self-esteem or low self-esteem. And then another thing is what leads people to be materialistic is just poverty. People who come from an impoverished background and have never enjoyed these luxuries in their entire life. And then they're like, you know what, I'm not going to continue living like this. A lot of examples, we have had stories of the girls who go to Dubai. If you're going to Dubai and letting people do those things to you, because you want to you want to get these things, it says a lot about the economic situation around the world, because a lot of people wouldn't have to be stooping low and reducing their dignity and their values and morals to, you know, just acquire, you know, some of the basic things in life, like housing and shelter. You know, you go out of your way to do this unnecessary thing. But again, like you said, some girls would rather cry in a Lamborghini than take a water.
What was the question again, Aggie?
What causes people to be materialistic?
What causes them? Well, I think people do that because they want to attain a certain level of comfort. Yes, being able to access the normal basic things you need in life. I mean, we all went to school, so we know the basic things of life. You need food, you need shelter, you need clothing, you need water, you need health. Yes?
Yes.
If you have, if you're materialistic in a way, first of all, it's going to push you to perform better. Whether it's at your workplace, because you need all these good things, you want to be able to have health insurance, better health insurance. So for you to get to that point, you must work hard. So for you to want to have all those materials that you think make you feel better, you're attaching so much importance to them, it will push you to work better. And minus it being a form of motivation, I feel like people are only materialistic because of, you know, social media. Yes. You get on the gram and people are posting, you know, they've been in vacation, they've been, you know, they've bought a new car, they've bought, you know, nice clothes, but people forget, like, we're only projecting, or we're only telling you, showing you what is good in our lives.
Yeah.
Material things doesn't mean you're like entirely happy, but also being broke doesn't mean you're happy. So being minimal doesn't mean you're happy. So yeah, I think I would say people are materialistic because even social media has played into this to a certain degree because of the pressure.
Yeah.
And you want to get to a certain level that a certain person you feel like inspires you in one way or another has pushed you to that point.
Okay, yes, for me, I would think that one of them is family background. If you've grown up in a very rich family, I mean, we know some of the families in this country, but I'll give you the most vivid example of the Kardashian family. You know, they've grown up in wealth and all that. So you find yourself in a position where you want, to maintain that
the
wealth.
legacy,
If
yeah.
you have grown up, driving, your mother was driving a Range Rover, then you want a Ferrari, then you want something else, so it keeps you materialistic. And also, if you've grown up in that kind of comfort, in that kind of luxury, you don't want to feel or, to have any less.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you have gone out there and seen, how other people are suffering, you're like, oh my goodness, I would never want to find myself in this position.
Yeah.
So it makes you materialistic. And I think the other thing is peer pressure. It depends on the circle of friends that you have or acquaintances. If, they're materialistic, they're always, they always want the finest things and the latest phones, the latest cars. Chances are you will be inclined in that direction in one way or another because you're the one person that may not want to be left behind when it comes, you don't want to be overlooked or underlooked by people and saying, this one is the brokest of the crew, this one is done, So you also want to fit in, and at the end of the day, you find yourself a materialistic person, even when you were not before. So materialism has its pros and cons. Yes, there's nothing on the face of the earth that only has disadvantages. So would love, briefly, let's talk about some of the advantages of materialism.
I guess you'll be able to, have some of the things that you want in life or the things that you've fantasized or the luxuries that you want in life. But again, for me, I don't see any advantage in being materialistic because honest to God, again, when you attach these material things to your value, for me, and I'll stand by that, if you attach these things, if you think that you are a person because you have the latest and most expensive phone or a car, then you are absolutely missing the mark, and you will diminish just as fast as those materialistic things. So I think people should attach more things to more intangible things to their self-worth as opposed to having material things, because you can do without these luxuries. And if you're coming from a background where you cannot sustain, because with materialism you have to be able to sustain it. So can you sustain it? If you can't sustain it, and for me, I'm already even jumping into the disadvantage, if you cannot sustain it, you are going to be poor. Not even broke. Brokenness is at the list of your problems. You're going to end up poor. You're not going to have a retirement plan. You're going to miss out on the finer things in life. Even Kanye West says the best things in life are free.
I like that she talked about sustainability. Once you realize that your happiness comes from these material things, you'll put in work 100 times. You work and work to bring those materials to yourself. So I think one of the benefits of materialism is that it pushes you to work extremely hard to be able to afford these things, because maybe that's where you derive your happiness from. But then also, like I mentioned earlier on, materialism, if you're a materialistic kind of person, of course you love money. Yes, you understand the importance of having money. So the benefits of being materialism, of course, money is a factor, and with you working so hard to have that money, or having that money, is going to help you maneuver life. You will not be worried, oh my God, how about when I get sick, what will I do? Will I have where to stay? Will I have how to move? Will I have, you don't have to worry about those things. You bring the nicer things closer to you. And I think that's why we all exist in this life. If we had an option of having the nice things in life, we would have them without even thinking twice.
Yes.
So for me, yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's talk about, some, besides what the ladies have said, some of the advantages of materialism is you may buy some level of comfort and feel better in the short run, which is a good thing. No one doesn't love comfort. Let no one lie to you that they don't love to be comfortable, a comfortable life. The other one is materialism gives you the opportunity to always have the latest things. The other one is you may be able to impress your friends if you're that kind of person. Sarah mentioned, those who buy champagne in the bar, those, who want to be seen. If you are that person, then yes, it will actually give you, that I don't know, that satisfaction of knowing that people are looking at me.
Respect,
but that can be
where?
false respect.
Have you seen men around fellow rich men?
and then tomorrow
Have you seen
they will
men
forget
around
rich
men?
they will
Yeah.
drink your
No, literally
alcohol
bow
and
down.
leave you there, and you'll go home alone with no friends, nobody to call on when you actually need help.
Okay, let's move on. Materialism.
Impressing friends.
Materialism.
Are we serious right now?
Materialism can result
Are we in high school?
Listen, materialism can result in better health insurance. Tell me that's a bad thing. Imagine you're in a position where you know whether they diagnose you with cancer, whether they diagnose you with the most expensive, disease, if they are expensive diseases, that you're able to afford that health care.
But
Yes.
if you're going to die, you will still die.
But at least you were able to, to do everything.
You will still
means.
die.
You were able.
But what
You see,
legacy are
Sarah,
you going
there's a
to leave
difference. There's a
behind when you
difference.
die? Oh, she
There's a
was
difference.
able to afford
No,
that
here's
cancer
the thing,
treatment,
Sarah,
but she
here's
died.
the thing. There's a difference between someone who has done everything in their power to at least, get rid of this disease, and someone who has been in a position of lack and they wish, oh, I wish I had money. My mother wouldn't have died. I wish I had money. My father wouldn't have died. You don't want to be in that
I wish
position.
I had money. I would have taken my
Yes.
kids
All
to
of
that
us.
school.
Yes.
I wish
The
I had
other
money.
one-
All of us will. Okay.
The other one is you might be more motivated to perform in your job. Yes, if you want the finest things, you will work, 100 times, more than you'd rather be if you were in materialistic. The other one is you may be respected in society. And the other one is it can be easier for you to find a partner in this time and era. I tell you what,
I agree.
if you're a materialistic man and you are working so hard and you have the best things in life, trust me, it will be so easier for you to get
Fall
a
in love.
good woman, actually the best women on the planet, more than a poor man. And that is absolutely true. Don't tell me I'm lying about it. The other one is it can help you protect yourself against old age poverty. I mean, you can buy into plastic surgery, into cosmetic surgery, and you still look fine at 60 years of age. So, briefly, as yes, we have a few minutes. If you were to choose between being a materialistic person and, being a mediocre at life, what would you?
Mediocre is
Why do you have to choose between being a mediocre and
It's a question of if.
being materialistic?
question of
See,
if.
this is my thing, and again I stand by this. Materialism is not a good thing. Do not attach, even the Bible says it, and it's something that we even apply in our day-to-day lives. We want people who are real, people who are going to love us for who we are, people who are going to stand by us regardless of the things that we have or not. We want people who want us for us, and we always say that in our friends, we want to be appointed for that job application because we are able. We are capable and competent of performing the task. At the end of the day, everybody wants to be accepted for who they are. Many people will say like, oh, I don't give a damn what people say about me or whatever. You may use all these things to, attract people or impress people, but that is not going to last. You will be forgotten as soon as the next trendy person comes in. Do you understand? So for me, about materialism, if you're going to, it's okay to want luxury. It's okay to want comfort. That is always strive for comfort. But when you start attaching those things to your self-worth and value, and you're like, oh, to keep my friends, I can only hang out with my friends when I have money, then honey, you are going down a very lonely and sad route in life. And for me, materialism is absolutely a no-no. If you can afford the luxury and you work hard, go ahead and do it. If you can sustain it, yes. But when you start using that as baiting people to respect you, that is where your respect comes from. It is not sustainable. It's not going to last.
Okay,
Those are my 2
Elvis.
cents.
Well, I live by the fact that being able to afford everything you want without worrying anyone should be among everyone's daily prayers.
worrying and bothering.
And bothering people,
That
and
is the worst.
being able to
Hard
afford
work.
whatever you want should be in your daily prayer. Talk to God, say, God, give me all those materials so that I don't have to bother people. So I think I want to be a materialistic kind of person.
God will not make
Okay,
you materialistic.
briefly, how are you going to give that to you? Even the same God wants tithe in church. How are you going to? What are you going to tithe in church when you're poor?
tithe if you don't have materials?
But anyway, just briefly, at the end of the day, we've talked about all the good things about being a materialistic person, or about materialism, or about materials. But I'll tell you,
materialism is not a measure of true happiness. There's so many people who have all the money in the world but are still frustrated. People are committing suicide, are people who are depressed. So yes, it's good to be materialistic, but me, I would advise that much as you want the finest things in life, they may not be able to satisfy you 100%. So, you know, seek counsel. I mean, go to church. At the end of the day, you know, having your spiritual life in check will be, if it complements your, you know, materialistic life, trust me, it will be a good life to live at the end of the day. That's what I would think. And also, I don't condemn people who are materialistic, and neither do I condemn people who are not materialistic. Whatever makes you happy, if you're not bothering other people, that should be the thing. I mean, we are here to live the life.
Imagine poverty making you happy.
Yes, everyone deserves happiness. Anyway, that is all we had for you in this segment of our views. But you can still let us know, do you think materialism is a good or a bad thing? Connect with us on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SEETV Uganda. This is SEETV Sunrise at Sea. Don't blink.
Well, that's all we had for you on this episode of Sunrise at Sea. I hope you had a wonderful time with us on the show. And my parting shots are: the best things in life are free. So be kind, have integrity, be a person who is hardworking and honest and genuine. Please do not sell your soul to the devil for whatever the material gain may be. Do not let the monies in this world sway you. And if you are putting in prayer and hard work, it will definitely pay off in ways that will not inconvenience you in the long run. I know instant gratification, we all look for that. We want it now. We want it now. But sometimes you have to wait on so that you can have longevity and so that you can sustain the things that you want in life. Well, from the ladies and I, until tomorrow, same time, same place. That is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Be good and, you know, take on the day. Take on the day. I wish you nothing but the best. All right? But keep watching SEETV and goodbye.